What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I know I'm late. I'm gonna give y'all time to come in while I open up all my shit. Yeah, I know. I figured. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, Saruji? What's up, Micah? What's up, man? What's going on, y'all? Um, Let me open all my shit up. Like literally, I had to hurry home to get this shit done. I had to hurry and get this done, and then I gotta finish up on the lineups. What's up, y'all? What's going on, Matthew? What's up, John? What's up, man? Haywood, what's up, Micah? What's going on, man? It's time to turn everything around, ladies and gentlemen. It's about that time. MLB has been horrible this week. I'm not gonna lie. MLB has been horrible this week. You guys know how it is. I mean, it's a long season. You guys know there's times where it's just fucking MLB sucks. Period. It is what it is. Stupid shit happens. You know what I mean? And I hate that the stupid players get to benefit from it because they're playing stupid shit. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We just gotta, keep doing what we do. It'll come up. It's all good. Let's get some weekend money, player. Yes, sir. Happy Friday. Yes, sir, James. These lines looking fire. You already know, Uncle Craig. You already know. Sup, Cam? Looks like a crazy slate. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about real quick. I did not promote for everybody on Twitter, which I probably need to do. And then we'll get into talking about this shit. Let me promote on Twitter, and then we will get into it. Let everybody file in here. I know you guys normally are expecting me to be here on a little bit earlier, but that was me. All right, cool. Boom, boom. Let everybody know on Twitter. All right. All right, let's get this shit, man. We got plenty to talk about. Time to smash this motherfucker. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad if you haven't already. Now, let's take a look at weather today. All right, let's start it off by taking a look at weather. There's really no bad weather issues. It's one of those days where you don't really got to worry about anything, to be honest with you. So we're good. Everything's good. Everything's great. All right, now, weather, we have no issues. Just wanted to verify that real quick. Love Vince Velasquez still. Mentioned him in the high five. Hold on. Still got to pull all the shit up that I need. All right. So, yeah. Love Vince Velasquez, Jack Flaherty, Jose Barrios. These are all guys that I'm interested in. Jacob deGrom is okay if you want to go that route against Atlanta. Atlanta can be pesky at times, but they can also strike out from time to time as well. Don't think there's a reason to pay up for deGrom, though. I'm liking more of like a Vincent Velasquez and Jack Flaherty pairing or Jose Barrios. Over on Fanduel, for pitching over on Fanduel, Flaherty's 9.9, Barrios is 8.8. So I really like Jose Barrios over on Fanduel at 8.8. That price is too low. Him or Vincent Velasquez are really the two guys that you want to go with. Barrios is 8.8. Velasquez is 7.7. So you can go either one of them over there. All right, so let's go ahead and start taking questions. Let's see what y'all got. Flaherty, thumbs up. Yes, sir. What's up, Cam? Tony, what's up, man? Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Let's get to it. Twin stack for all the money. All right, so I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Twins. Let's go ahead and break that matchup down. All right, you guys know how we do. Let's break that matchup down, see which guys you want to get exposure to. The Twins are going against Matthew Boyd at home in Minnesota. No, sorry, not going against Boyd. Against Verhagen. My bad. So great matchup for the righties and the lefties against Verhagen. It's just not much I need to really explain with this one. I mean, obviously you want Sano mashes righties, Castro mashes righties, Cruz mashes righties, Kepler mashes righties. Those four guys hit righties the best out of this whole team. But yeah, you definitely want Minnesota exposure versus Verhagen. He's not good at all. Favorite outfielder under 4K? All right, so let's check that out. I'm assuming that you're talking about DK. All right, so under 4K on DraftKings, probably Aaron Judge at 3.9 going against lefty Ryu. I love him, and Randall Grichuk. I like him and Randall Grichuk a ton. I probably have Randall slightly ahead just because I really love Randall today, but him and Judge are right there with each other. Judge is in a great spot against the lefty. Absolutely love him. Toscar Hernandez is another Toronto guy that could get to Sheffield. But yeah, those are mainly the guys. Franmil Reyes could definitely hit one off on Junis, but Grichuk and Judge, those are the two main guys under 4K. Cruz and Kepler, yes sir. Dustin, what's going on, man? What's up with the Toronto stack? There's a lot of Toronto guys actually on this slate that we have some interest in. Actually, let's pull that up and check it out. Okay, so I've talked about Grichuk. I just talked about Toscar. Let's pull that offense up real quick and talk about them. All right, so they're going against Sheffield. Sheffield is absolutely horrible versus lefties. He's a reverse split guy, but it's also not a huge sample size. So he's just not great, period. He's been okay versus righties so far, but the sample size is so small, you don't really know. Okay, I'm going to assume that this kid's not that great. He's really gotten rocked big time by the lefties. But really, you want righties too. Bichetti has been crushing lefties since he came up with a 394 ISO. Fisher, McGuire at the end of the lineup, both these lefties hit lefties well. And I just talked about Sheffield in the small sample size struggles versus lefties. So if they end up in the lineup, Fisher and McGuire are interesting because they mash lefties and they're going against Sheffield, who has struggled versus lefties. Grichuk and Toscar Hernandez. Those are really the guys that stick out to me. Bichetti, Grichuk, Hernandez, and then Fisher, McGuire as like GPP guys at the bottom of that lineup against Sheffield, who nobody's going to play. But looking at the numbers, he struggled versus lefties. Guerrero is a solid option as well. Guerrero is actually better versus righties than he is lefties. He's a reverse split guy, but it is what it is. Hi, Cam. Arsalis, I just want to say, if I miss anybody's what's up, Cam, I apologize. It's not like I'm intentionally missing you. If I see it, I will say what's up. Tweezy baby, what's up, man? Thoughts on Cleveland stack? And if it's your question, just repeat it again. I got a lot of questions coming in. All right, thoughts on a Cleveland stack? Let's look at it. All right, boom. Thoughts on a Cleveland stack? Let's take a look at them. Now, going against Jacob Junis, there's multiple guys on this lineup. In this lineup who have crushed him throughout their entire careers. Lindor has always had a good time versus Junis, it seems like. He always crushes Junis, always does very good. He is 5K today, but I think you can get him at 5K because there are some, I mean, there's nobody who really sticks out at shortstop. Maybe Manny Machado, but Lindor at 5K, he's crushed Junis. I like Lindor a lot from the Cleveland stack. Other guys that I like, I mean, I'm going to rattle off the guys who have a good ISO. All right, let's rattle off the guys who have good ISOs and who mash righties. Lindor, 244 ISO versus righties. Carlos Santana, 283 ISO versus righties. Yasiel Puig, 230 versus righties. Jose Ramirez, 233 versus righties. Franmil Reyes, 267 versus righties. All right, like this entire lineup, not only do they not strike out much versus righties, but they hit with a ton of power. Now, Junis has those occasions where he actually gets lucky and gets out of games because he has an okay ground ball rate over 40%, but he's still not good. He gives up power that he's gotten crushed by Cleveland throughout his career, and it's at home in Cleveland. So I would expect Cleveland to put up some runs. All right, any Baltimore guys? Let me take a look at that, Andrew. Baltimore guys. Let's see who we would be interested in on the Baltimore side of this. Going against the newly acquired Trevor Richards. I wasn't even aware that Richards went to Tampa Bay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Missed that news. So Richard struggles versus lefties. So Villar. You know what? Let's just talk about the guys who mash righties. Period. Okay. Mancini and Nunez. Okay, Mancini, Santana, and Nunez. The top four really are okay. So Villar, Mancini, Santana, and Nunez are okay for GPP. I wouldn't be super excited for them. Period. But they're okay for GPP if you want to go that route. Favorite pitcher on Fanduel. Talked about it already. Barrios is too cheap and Velasquez. So you can go either one of them. I'm down with that. Favorite stack. Let's take a look. All right. So on today's slate, the main stack that I want to get exposure to, obviously, is probably going to be Minnesota against Verhagen. Verhagen is so bad. Last night when I did the high five video, it was Boyd. Now that it's Verhagen, they're going to get rocked. Minnesota should absolutely destroy Verhagen today. They already hit more home runs than any other team in the major leagues. They're at home in Minnesota. I'm expecting big things from Minnesota today. Tampa Bay, once again, is in a great spot at Baltimore. And then, yes, you could go Houston as well. The main offenses that I'm interested in, though, today that I want exposure to is Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Those are the main sides of it I want. And then Houston against the Angels is also a good idea. So I've already talked about Minnesota. I haven't talked about Tampa Bay. Let's talk about Houston real quick because they are a high-powered offense, and they can do a lot of damage. Suarez struggles versus righties. So in GPPs, I love a Houston stack. Now, you're going to have to pay a premium for these dudes. Okay, you're going to have to pay for a premium for these bats. But there's a lot of righties who can do damage in this lineup, and Suarez has struggled versus righties, giving up a 448 WOBA and a 278 ISO versus righties, striking out only 18%. It's not good, okay? He gives up a huge fly ball rate to lefties, which could lead to home runs as well. So, of course, I mean, the guys that stick out here against lefties, Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez has mashed lefties. So, yeah, I like a Houston stack for GPP. The main stacks I'm interested in is the Twins, Rays, and Houston. Those are the three stacks I'm interested in. Houston, I love stacking for GPP. Minnesota for cash games, probably. Junis and or Plesac. Neither. Not interested in either one, to be honest with you. No love for Greinke tonight. Yeah, let's take a look at Greinke real quick. Greinke is 8.8. Solid price. I do like the price. He's at home in Houston. Houston should give him some run support, but it's the Angels. Angels just don't strike out enough for me to be excited about that matchup. There's other pitchers I would rather go with. I'm not super excited about the matchup solely on strikeout upside. Now, Greinke is a good strikeout pitcher, but solely on the type of upside he has here in this matchup, he just doesn't have much against the Angels. So I'm not very interested in him, but I can understand it in GPPs. Would you pair Fulte paired with DeGrom? In GPP, that's interesting. Bichetti, Machado, or Polanco for DK Cash? Bichetti, Machado, or Polanco? Polanco. Is Pham going yard? That's a good question. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. All right, so Tommy Pham, let's check out Tampa Bay because I just mentioned Tampa Bay is one of my favorites today. Now, checking out the numbers, Blatch is probably the worst pitcher on this entire slate. Gives up tons of hard contact, gives up tons of fly balls, does not strike anybody out. 449 WOBA to lefties, 273 ISO to lefties, 446 WOBA to righties, 265 ISO to righties. Like, it is ugly. It's ugly. So you really want anybody from Tampa Bay. 100%. Duffy is leading off, which is really interesting to me. I love Duffy leading off. Let me remind myself of his price real quick. What was Duffy's price? Duffy's only 3-1 leading off. He's a lock at third base. Leading off, absolutely love him against the lefty at 3-1. So Duffy is a lock at third base. Pham is in a great spot. I do like him a lot. He doesn't hit with a ton of power versus lefties, but a huge WOBA. He gets on base. And then he could always steal a base as well. Meadows hits the lefties well with a 226 ISO, and a lot of people might fade him because it's a lefty-lefty matchup. But what I was just telling you guys, his numbers are actually worse versus lefties than righties. Okay, he gives more of a fly ball fly ball rate to lefties, more hard contact, less strikeouts. Like he doesn't strike lefties out. Aguilar is interesting. We talked about all these dudes. So yeah, Tampa Bay, man. Yes, Duffy is a lock at third base. He's too cheap. And Adames has been playing really well. He's also a good option. What does his price move to? His price is 3.9 now. Yeah, he's still in play for sure at shortstop against Blotch for sure. Blotch is bad, very bad. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Who's the biggest value on this slate? My favorite, probably Duffy is probably my favorite play value-wise on this entire slate. But let's take a look at the bats. I do like Aguilar still from the high five. John Jay is interesting versus Lynn at 2-3. Lynn is a solid pitcher, but he has always struggled versus lefties, so that could be a good spot for him. Duffy's definitely the best value on the slate. So Duffy, yeah. Thoughts on Flaherty? Yeah, I talked about Flaherty already. I love him. I love him. The main pitchers that I'm interested in on this slate today is DeGrom for GPPs against Atlanta. I like Berrios, Flaherty, and Velasquez. I'm interested in all of them. Berrios, Flaherty, and Velasquez are all interesting for sure. Grisham is good value at 3.5. Grisham is also fine, yes. Heredia at 3,500 for a cheap option. That's fine. What's up, Cam? What I missed for Fanduel GPP pitcher stacks. All right, let's go back to Fanduel real quick. Talk Fanduel. So for pitching over on Fanduel, the main thing that I'm thinking is Berrios is only 8.8, which is a lot cheaper. I love Berrios' price over here. I love Flaherty. I don't like Flaherty as much. I like Berrios and Velasquez. Velasquez is 7.7 over here. Berrios is only 8.8. I think when it comes to pricing wise, Berrios is probably the best value at only 8.8. Love Minnesota as a stack in general today. Berrios going against Detroit, like for some reason I feel like people might be off of him today, and that's probably the wrong move. So I like Berrios over here. What up, fools? Tone Low, what's up? Sorry I got in late, but what are we looking at for stacks and pitchers in DK Cash? So stacks, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Houston, and GPP. For pitchers, we're wanting to go with, I just talked about it, Berrios, Flaherty, or Velasquez are kind of my favorite three. Berrios, Flaherty, and Velasquez. DeGrom is a solid GPP, and Greinke's a solid GPP. I missed your pitchers. Oh, you just got them. What's your favorite catcher on DK? All right, so let's check out catchers. So over on DK, I do really like Chirinos versus a lefty. I talked about liking this Houston offense. I really do like him. For $400 more, though, you get Gary Sanchez, righty-lefty against Ryu. It's tough not to go Gary in that. I love Gary versus lefties. Let's check out value. All right, so looking at value, we're probably going to have Jeff Mathis catching for Texas at 2-1. We got Mike Zunino batting at the end of that order, though, at 3-3. It is what it is. That's still a fine play. Yadier Molina against Lambert. I kind of would rather spend up, to be real. Like, there's no cheap guys I really love. There are a few guys that stick out to me, and that's Robinson Chirinos and Gary Sanchez. I would have Gary Sanchez above Chirinos, but they're right there with each other. I think Gary could homer against Ryu today, but Ryu's a solid pitcher as well at the same time, and Suarez struggles versus righties, so Chirinos is just as good. I like Gary. How about this? I like Gary and GPP. I like Chirinos and cash, probably. That's probably the way I would lean. Zanino's also fine if you have a Tampa Bay stat. And Castro is also in play with the Minnesota stack as well, if you want to go that route. That is completely fine. Castro's 3.6 against Verhagen, so that's great for sure. Bregman over Lindor. Bregman, Lindor, straight up. Yeah, probably slightly. Probably slightly have Bregman over Lindor because Suarez is so bad versus righties, man. I could see Bregman going crazy today. I like Polanco going against Verhagen. Verhagen is just so bad, but don't sleep on how bad Suarez is versus righties too. Like I love a Houston stack in GPP. They're probably my favorite GPP stat. Love a Houston stat. Chirino's not starting today. Did that lineup drop and I just didn't see it drop? Thoughts on Paxton? I won't have much Paxton, to be honest with you. Do you like any Reds? I am not playing many Reds. Yelich going yard. We will get into home run predictions in a little bit, but yes, I do like the lefties for Milwaukee. Who would you go on DK in outfield at 4,200 or less? All right, 4,200 and less in the outfield. Assuming that you probably have Aaron Judge already. If you don't, Aaron Judge and Grichuk are probably my favorite right around that price range. Yeah, so if Aaron Judge or Grichuk, those are two of my favorite right there around that price range. For sure. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. It's time to turn shit around, right? It's time to turn shit around. Stupid shit can only happen for so long. And then it fucking turns around and goes crazy. It's all, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. You high on Ryu at all? I'm not. No. I'm scared to play Rio versus the Yankees. He's had a solid year though. Very good year. Super low ERA. Arias or Van Meter or any other better value, cheaper. Cash second base. All right, so let's check out second base. Second base for Cash. You could always go Diaz for Miami. He seems to always be down there in the cheaper range. Garrett Hampson's only 2.6. I know it's against Flaherty, and I don't like him, but 2.6. I like Jason Kipnis at 3.8. I definitely like Kipnis at 3.8. That's interesting to me. Van Meter is fine versus Keller as well. But yeah, second base is tough. That's tough. Kepler in outfield? Yeah, I do like Kepler. I do like Arias as well at second base. And I do like Mike Moustakas. Only issue I have a little bit is Arias being 4-1. I don't love his price. I wish he was in the 3K range. 4-1. But I love that stack so much that, yeah. If you have a Minnesota stack, for sure. Love Arias. Love Minnesota as a stack in general today. They're going to smash, dude. They're going to smash. Them, Houston and GPP, Minnesota and cash, guys. All right? Houston and GPP, Minnesota and cash. There's no possible scenario where Minnesota doesn't rock Verhagen. It's going to happen. Okay? There's no possible scenario. What cheap pitchers used for a Minnesota Houston stack? All right. So if you're wanting to stack on Minnesota and Houston for GPP, totally understand it. Good question. I would go Vincent Velasquez probably with Folty. Velasquez and Folty together is a solid option. Maybe Lambert if you want to go real cheap. Peter Lambert. He's not in course. Going against St. Louis, righty against a bunch of righties. I think Lambert could be an interesting option there. That's kind of where I'd stay. I'd go Velasquez and Folty. You should be able to do it with Velasquez and Folty. If not, then I would go Velasquez and Lambert. You're okay to do that as well. If you want to go that route, that's fine. Lambert's a solid punt GPP. Like he's not a good pitcher, but he's not in course and he's going to face a ton of righties. So that's the only plus for him. Knock on wood, motherfucker. What? What are you talking about? Got Cruz and Polanco, so I guess the answer is easy here. Oh, you're talking to Craig. Sorry. Not sure what you're talking about. Kepler and Rosario kind of cheap tonight. Yeah. Yeah. So you want Minnesota. Let's talk about, oh, yeah, I didn't talk about the bats over on Fanduel yet. Let's see if there's any guys that stick out over on Fanduel for bats. You know, a lot of times over on Fanduel, we get amazing prices over here. First thing that I love is Nelson Cruz. Like, normally I like Cruz versus lefties, but at 3.8 on Fanduel, that's ridiculous. My favorite stack of the day, I love Nelson Cruz on Fanduel at 3.8 against Verhagen, 100%. Absolutely love him. Aguilar at 2.7. Love him. Batting fourth. We predicted that in the high five. When I put him in the high five, I was like, look, I'm expecting a good part of the order. He's going to mash lefties. I love Aguilar, and I think he's going to dinger tonight. Vladimir Guerrero is only 2.9. Gives us a righty-lefty. Even though Vladimir is better versus righties, it's still a bad lefty. Yasiel Puig's only 3,000. Springer and Bregman seem pretty cheap. 4.1, 4.2 over here. Lindor's only 3.9. So yeah, I mean Tommy Pham's only 3.9. So you got some solid value over here. Let's look real cheap. Toscar Hernandez, talked about him before. He's projected to bat fifth in this lineup at 2.2. I love him. Righty lefty. He mashes lefties. Adrianza, Bearman, Minnesota guy. If you want to, get a Bearman. If I'm going to choose any Bearman guy, it would be Zunino or Adrianza. I'm leaning Zunino slightly, but Adrianza's right there as well. So Zunino and Adrianza, they're both like Bearman options. I like Aguilar at first base, so I kind of like Adrianza as shortstop more if I had to choose between the two, because I love Aguilar at first. Matt Duffy's only 2.4 over here. Like, dude, like if you're able to get if you can get all the bats you want, like, fucking, I'm not like, I like DeGrom in GPPs. Okay. It's tough for me to not be on DeGrom too much because he is Jacob DeGrom. But Atlanta's offense is pesky, man. I don't like playing pitchers against them. Like, I just feel like against Atlanta, there's not much upside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to most of the time, you're not going to smash them. So that's what bothers me a little bit is, like, I don't know about Jacob DeGrom at 11.2 over on FanDuel. I love Barrios at 8.8. That's a huge discount from the sites. Erod in the late night versus a lot of righties. How does he look, Cam? Let's take a look at Erod. I don't have much exposure to Rodriguez at all. There are a ton of righties on the San Diego lineup. Let's start out by looking at San Diego's offense real quick. All right, versus left-handed pitchers, they only strike out 16% of the time versus lefties. They're pretty damn solid at making sure they get on base and not striking out too much against left-handed pitching. Machado and Renfroe are the two guys that if Rodriguez can get through those guys and keep them in check, then he should have an okay night, because the rest of the guys don't hit lefties well. They just don't strike out a ton. Outside of France and Hedges, who are projected in the lineup, like, those guys strike out a ton. But outside of them, everybody strikes out like 20% or less. So I wouldn't. Would be nice if we get Grisham batting leadoff tonight. I know, man. Like, how many times have we wanted Grisham lately? Like, they keep putting him super low price, and then boom. Oh, sorry, yeah. There is no chance Minnesota does not smash. I know. Knock on wood, my bad. There you go. This fake wood on this TV tray that I'm doing this on. Thanks, I appreciate it. No problem, man. Let's see. Flaherty, Velasquez, Castro, Aguilar, Kipnis, Duffy, Polanco, Grichuk, Kepler, Springer. Good lineup, or need a few changes? I like it, bro. I like it. Looks good. Velasquez, Aguilar, Altuve, Sano, Adames, Cruz, Kepler, Gonzalez, Bregman. Sounds good. Top stack and top pitcher for tonight. I'm behind at work. Top stack, top pitchers. Top stack is Minnesota. Then comes Tampa Bay. And then comes Houston in GPP. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. Greenlightdfs.com, man. Hit up the site. Join the squad. Let's get this money tonight. So far, it's been a toughish week just because MLB's been stupid, but that shit's going to come around, and I'm loving this slate tonight, so I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the bounce back. And going into the weekend, like, we tend to smash weekends, so I'm just expecting a huge weekend, start our momentum back off on the right foot. I hate when fucking I hate when fucking MLB is like this, but it is what it is. Rosario out for Twins. Damn. Sweet. Love your shit. Love watching your videos. Appreciate it, Tony. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Glad I was able to help. We're going to get into the home run predictions in just a little bit. You the man. Thank you, bro. 4 pitchers under 10K. The pitchers under 10K. Flaherty. Definitely go Flaherty. Greinke's fine. Berrios is right there at 10K. I like him. And Velasquez, Flaherty, Greinke, Berrios. Those are the 4 guys I'm interested in. I think it could be lowish scoring. I don't know if neither team goes crazy in that Dodger-New York game. Thoughts on any Dodgers right-handed bats tonight? More on Fanduel. Taylor, Kiki are cheap as hell on Fanduel. Kiki loves lefties. That's what I will say there. Hoskins with the double dong tonight is my guy is due. Let's go Philly. Yes, sir. Hopefully, man, that'd be great. Berrios, Aguilar, Wong, Duffy, DeJong, Pham, Meadows, Yelich, Goldsmith, Fowler. I like it for GPP. That's more of a GPP line. So if you're throwing GPP, that's fine. Which pitchers do you like from the evening slate? Ryu, Paddock, Erod, Paxton. Probably Rodriguez. And fuck. I don't like any of the other ones. Harper is out for the Phillies. That's good news for Noesi. I'm not playing him, but still, it's good news for him. Do you like Sheffield? No, I don't. Is Dickerson a solid option? Yes, he's fine. CNG, I can't even answer that, bro. Like Erod, and then outside of that, I can't choose. Like they all suck. They're bad options tonight. I don't like it. Maybe Ryu, just because New York's known to be free swinging at times, and maybe could strike out a ton. Vince Velasquez or Jose Berrios? Price included, value-wise, Vince Velasquez. I love Berrios, though. Berrios on FanDuel, 100%. What do you think about Fultinowicz? I won't have much exposure to him. I do like him in GPP, though, if you're going double cheapish pitchers to get in like a Houston stack and a Minnesota stack, like we talked about a little bit ago. I'm fine with that. It's not supposed to rain in Miami, right? I'm seeing a weather warning in Fantasy Labs. Nothing should be an issue. There shouldn't be a big deal. You like Odor at second base? I haven't really been putting much Odor in my lineups today, but at second base, lefty righty against Cease, I think he's completely fine. I have no, I can't debate you on that. Sub Killer Cam, Derek Dietrich, my sleeper. Dietrich, hey man, he has his moments. He has his moments. I will refresh myself on the weather real quick, just in case anything's popped up. Let me look at that weather. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to stay a little longer today. I'm going to stay on here a little longer today. And Miami is a dome, by the way. So hopefully they have it shut. Like sometimes I get so many questions on here that my mind is running, and like somebody will ask a simple question like, what about the weather in Miami? And I'm like in the back of my head, I'm thinking, aren't they a dome? But then I'm thinking, if somebody's asking a question like that, then maybe I'm wrong. Like I question myself, and then I'm like, that's a dome, bro. Okay, so I'm almost 100% they're not going to deal with any weather. He said he's not on Sheffield. I'm not too on Sheffield. You can go, let's take a look at him real quick. All right. Let's take a look at Sheffield real quick. Toronto, as an offense, has been better lately. Against lefties, they do strike out 31% of the time. So he's got some GPP upside because, one, they don't know much about him. He's got a small sample size. Toronto's not going to know much about this kid. Two, they strike out 31% of the time versus lefties. He's a decent GPP option if you want to throw him in and get some big stacks. Maybe have one line with him just to see how it goes. Drop a like down below. Let's get it. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. I am going to do home run predictions for you guys. Let's get into the home run predictions. And then I got a fucking slate to fuck up. All right, I got to fuck this shit up tonight. Going into the weekend, you guys know my focus. I'm going into the fucking weekend with a bang. I'm not playing no games. All right. I'm not playing no games. So just to recap real quick, let's just kind of briefly recap. Velasquez, Berrios really stick out for pitching for me. Love both of those guys. I do like DeGrom in GPPs against Atlanta. I just don't see the upside being that great, though, but who knows. Stacks, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Houston for GPP. Minnesota is probably my favorite stack overall. Tampa Bay is right there, though. I do like Tampa Bay as well. Home run predictions. A lot of these guys are already mentioned in the high five. I'm still on Nelson Cruz for a home run against Verhagen. I was on him against Matthew Boyd. I'm on him versus Verhagen. I don't care. Gary Sanchez, I do think gets one against the lefty Ryu. Christian Yelich, Mike Moustakas, both the lefties versus Merrill Kelly. He struggles versus lefties. Soler versus Plesac is a great option. Randall Grichuk, I still love. Michael Conforto against Fultinowicz, I still love. Franmil Reyes against Jacob Junis. Hunter Renfroe, Manny Machado, George Springer, Alex Bregman, Aaron Judge. There's plenty of home runs coming tonight, man. It's going to be a lot. Jesus Aguilar. There's going to be a lot of home runs tonight. As I'm reading these home runs off to you, there's going to be a lot. I said Bregman already. Francisco Lindor against Junis. I think he gets one. Let's try to get us one more. Let's get us one more. Eric Thames going against Merrill Kelly, lefty-righty as well. Love the lefties from Milwaukee today as well for GPP if you want to stack them up. I would definitely do the lefties. You think Arizona sneaky best tonight in Miller Park versus Lyles? Arizona, let's take an eye. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Arizona real quick. I haven't had any questions about Arizona. Really haven't even focused on them much at all. So GPP, I mean, nobody's going to be on them. Let's take a look at it. Against Lyles, the righty, he struggles a ton versus lefties. So Dyson, Marte, Escobar, Peralta, Lamb, those are guys that I would be interested in. So the lefties against Lyles for sure because he struggles versus them. I'm sold on Cleveland stack power. I think that would be completely fine in GPP. Did you guys catch that eye wink at his girl? Better be his girl. Better be his girl. It's definitely not some random dude. Houston lineup just announced. What is their lineup? Chirinos is in the lineup. Him or Castro? Chirinos or Castro? Depends. In GPP, you got a Houston stack, go Chirinos. If you have a Minnesota stack rolling, go Castro. I would lean Castro slightly over Chirinos. It's close. It's close, though, because I do think Chirinos could easily go yard tonight against a lefty. For damn sure. Drop a like down below if you haven't already. I'm going to go until 40 minutes exactly. We have about 50 seconds remaining, so let me know your questions real quick, and then I'm going to be rolling out. Got to get back on this slate, man. Let's get it tonight. Let's get it. Greenlightdfs.com. Let's get it, man. Streak's coming. Streak is coming. Not a losing streak either. It's over. Starting now. Winning streak. this weekend. We're going to smash this streak. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a Houston stack, like I've talked about for GPPs, Houston's probably my favorite GPP stack tonight. If you're doing a Houston stack, then go Chirinos. If you're going to Minnesota stack, go Castro. Best chance for the highest stack, Minnesota. Minnesota's probably going to go crazy against Verhagen at home in Minnesota. I don't see much of a scenario. I really, really like Cardinal stack. It's a sleeper stack. St. Louis against Lambert. Lambert's not a great pitcher. They're definitely GPP. I mean, I haven't been paying too much attention to them. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Let's take a look at St. Louis real quick. I have not paid attention to St. Louis at all. They are at home, so that's cool. They got to sleep in their own beds last night. But the only person I'm really interested in on this offense would probably be Fowler, Wong, Ozuna. I'm interested in those guys. Fowler, Wong, Ozuna. Lambert versus lefties is atrocious. So I'm definitely on board with like a, Colton Wong batting second is interesting. Fowler leading off is interesting. Only thing that bothers me a little bit is he doesn't allow fly balls too much. He's very good at keeping the ball on the ground, and him not being in course is going to be a plus for him as well. He's getting a park upgrade for Lambert. Nola and Seager from Seattle. They're fine in GPP. All right, guys, drop a like down below before you roll out, man. Let's go ahead and get this shit tonight. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad, man. Let's have an amazing weekend. Let's get this money. All right, y'all. Drop a like as you head out. Thank you guys for watching, as always. Greenlightdfs.com. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Cam_ATL if you guys have any questions or whatever. Let me fucking do this one-handed. Boom. At Cam_ATL. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Good luck tonight. Let's start this weekend off with a bang, sweep the entire weekend, and then fuck the rest of MLB up until NFL starts really soon. Like, I'm super excited about that shit. All right. Good luck, y'all. I'm out.